Yeah.
Just about right. When I was just starting Sober October.
Yeah, oh my god, how's it going for you?
Oh, it's going great. I can't wait for coffee.
Oh, yeah.
But, like,
amongst other things.
Coffee's the one thing, dude, I cannot wait. I can't wait for a beer. And
yeah, I can't wait for coffee.
Oh, it's so great. I've been drinking
I'm sorry. I love you.
Decaf. No, it's all good. I've been drinking decaf.
You still at least get, like, the tast of it in your mouth.
Yeah. And that's like just enough. Gets me going.
I think I'm gonna move this a little bit. Sorry to move it in the middle of the podcast, but Andy wasn't centered, and I was just like...
The ISO is doing pretty good on that.
Yeah, looks pretty good. So what else you get up to besides Sober October?
I've been doing still Instagram on kind of building up personal brand, but I'm realizing that personal brand is good, and it's totally the long game, right? So you start personal branding, and everybody should do it, but it's going to be like 10, 15 years of branding before it really starts to pay you.
Yeah.
So I've been the past like we talked about in the other episodes. I've been like going ham with that. I've kind of toned that back a little, and now I'm focusing on monetizing because that I'm starting to really feel like is important, because monetizing you need money. It's what it is, and
you can't live off your good looks, Andy.
No, I don't know. It's like I fell down on a tree.
Hit every branch on the way down.
Exactly, and so like there is a lot of value that you can give for free, and like you should do that, but not 40 hours a week. And at least I don't think I'm gonna try for a little while and actually practice making money. Is what I'm gonna start doing.
Well,
how about you? What's new?
Oh man, much.
I know a lot of
so much
has been going down.
So since the last time Sensi Night hadn't happened yet, right? Because I talked about it on it. So after the last podcast, when we drove to Frankenstein Cliff, which was a phenomenal hike, what did it end up being? 6 miles.
Something like that, yeah.
It ended up being like 4 hours, but we chilled at the top for like a good almost hour probably. Andy was like, I
was like, dude, yo, you mind if we just kind of chill? And he's like, dude, yes.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, damn, I want to sit here forever. And then Andy's just like, in my head, like, all right, hey, sometimes this moment gets rushed here.
Exactly.
So let's just chill. And we ended up feeding a little chipmunk. Like we had I had some almonds. You had like some trail mix.
Peanut. They don't like peanuts. They way prefer almonds. Like all day.
And the almond was like, I don't know, an eighth the size of the chipmunk. Like it's grabbing it, and its hands are like wrapped around the whole almond because it's so small. But it just kept grabbing them from me and disappearing in its mouth and coming to get more. I was like, there you go, man.
You could like hear Celine Dion.
Jesus.
He was so happy. I remember seeing a squirrel once on YouTube run up to like one of those giant string of Christmas lights with the giant bulbs, unscrew it, and then like take it home like, oh my god, this is a jackpot.
We have antlers out here on our back porch. And the squirrels, we have fat squirrels in the backyard. They'll come out and they chew on the antlers.
Healthy, wow, dude.
Yeah, like the whole antler is like gutted on the inside.
Wow.
Yeah, especially when it rains, they love it because it softens it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because now they have it like cored on the inside, so now when it rains, it like soaks it up and they just keep chewing.
Interesting.
So I never would have known in a million years that
eat
squirrels, eat bone.
Maybe it's got like salt in it.
Did you know like we have chickens too? Mice will run by and they'll just be like, snag a mouse.
Yeah,
I never knew that. Like I never thought of chicken.
They're like dinosaurs.
Yeah, they really are.
I can imagine they go heavy at it. So what Sensi Night? How did that go?
Sensi Night, we were getting there. Sensi Night was phenomenal. I ended up interviewing a bunch of vendors. I ended up putting out videos with the Talking Dead, Reliable Bud, Mass Cannabis Chefs, and Acugenics.
Yeah.
And, I'd already put those videos out, so if you guys are listening or watching, go check those out. Phenomenal content, like so much value, I feel like. And because of that, I ended up getting a connection to the Harvest Cup, which is actually like one of the biggest cannabis events, especially in this area. and the owner of it, Jen, like interrupted one of the interviews in the middle of it because she wanted to talk to the Talking Dead. Didn't see that we had the camera position there.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," but it was like such an awesome.
It was so organic.
Yeah, she's still apologizing for it. She's probably watching, but I'm like, don't say sorry. Like, you made another moment in that video, and we made a connection now. So I'm going to do like kind of the same thing at Harvest Cup.
Yeah.
Where I'm going around interviewing vendors and whatnot. And I just think it's going to be a little bit more targeted, and because they have a little bit more say in what's going to be going on, and I think that helps. You know, like at Sensi, it was kind of like, we don't really know what you're doing. You don't really know what you're doing. Just try something. And Sensi, the people there were watching me all night. Sway was there. Rob McCarthy or Matt McCarthy. I can't remember.
Were you the only one doing that there?
Yeah, on that level. There was people taking pictures. There was people taking a lot of people taking videos.
So that's good. That's a good look, man.
A ton of people were watching me, and it also helped like the business, because people are like, "Wait, why is this guy over here like have his camera set up in front of this business vendor, and what are they talking about?" And I would just notice people coming. I noticed a lot of the editors at Sensi were coming over and watching and just kind of being like, and walking away like, okay, cool.
That's legit.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be working with Sensi again in the future. I'll definitely be working with
stuff.
I've already talked with Maya over there. She's one of the, I don't know her official position, but her dad is the owner, so she's probably up there, and she does a ton of work. So shout out to Sensi Magazine, shout out to all the vendors there, and I'm doing like another cannabis event like in Taunton, kind of doing the same thing. I got a couple interviews I want to get there with businesses that every time I go to get an interview.
You made the flyer for that event, right? Yeah,
I messed around on my phone and was like, let me see if I could just make flyers. Like, that's a service you can offer people. You were talking about monetizing. Like I want to be able to monetize a little bit too. I do a ton of free work. Like, I feel like I do mostly free work.
Yeah.
And I feel like doing the free work makes it so the money just kind of comes in. You don't have to think about where it's coming from. The money's just there. Because, like, I feel like when you do things the right way, you don't have to, like, stress too much on the money. I have been. Like, October's been one of the most stressful money-wise. I've never been, like, 3 days behind on bills. I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
Dude.
Yeah, like, you start getting that panic mode, and you got to kind of take yourself back from it. But yeah, so Sensi Night was amazing. It brought so many opportunities. Like I said, Harvest Cup. I got another local event in Taunton. I don't know the location of it yet, but check out the flyer. Check out Instagram about your tickets. Yeah. And then I did another event with Reliable Bud. Good. Forgot my memory card. Got all the way up there, 2-hour drive. Forgot my freaking memory card. It sucks, but lessons learned. And I actually got a chance to kind of sit there and watch, which let me observe and kind of talk to the owner of Reliable Bud and make some moves with them as well. So good. If expect to see me at those events too. So out of nowhere, like, all this shit just happened of me doing media at all these events.
Yeah, it's like you just jab. You're gonna get really good at jabbing.
Yeah. And I feel like that whole series was like here's like 5 quick jabs. Like, here's a bunch of free promotion, guys. 1,000 views on a video and a bunch of people that had no clue who you were. Boom. And the people that knew who you were, you got validation with them, basically. Perfect. Especially like Mass Cannabis Chefs, dude. Like, I love what they're doing. They actually have an event November 9th. It's the reason it stands out in my mind. It's a vegan event. But it's like the food on there, like, I feel like if every person didn't drool over that, I feel like something's wrong with them. Like, it's just the food they're cooking is amazing. It's mostly like, I think it was Indian based. Like, they had samosas and
a lot of curry.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, I mean, I kind of want to go to the event. I don't know what you're doing, but the 9th, what date is that? The 2nd is...
it's going to be a Friday.
Might be able to
November 9th.
Oh, wait, I have Owen that day. Probably won't be able to do that.
Yeah, I work every Friday evening until now. Hopefully when I'm 30, though. It's the goal.
When I'm 30. That's the goal, 30. To get out of the 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
Definitely. It'll definitely happen.
And like, the thing is that the past few days, I've been thinking, like, wait, should I just suck it up and go back to a 9 to 5 where I have to work 40 hours, but it pays me really well.
Yeah.
And then at the end of a couple of years, now I've got some money set aside. And then now I can take that money and then put it into another venture. But I'm like, no, fuck that, dude. I already tried it.
I feel we've had this conversation.
I already tried it. It's not going to happen.
You have so much potential to make money. You have shit that we've talked about and not a lot of people know about that is like unheard of. Like freeze drying. When that eventually becomes a thing, when you make it a thing,
yeah.
When you get it more popular, because it's a thing, but so was electricity, and then somebody mastered it and was like, I created electricity. That's how things are. So you need to be the one that like perfects that and gets it down.
Yeah, a mover.
Yeah, and
a pioneer freeze dryer.
I think
I was thinking. Yeah, I think we may have talked about this.
We've talked a lot.
Like freeze dried spices.
Yep.
It's like spices can be expensive.
Yep.
Like crushed red pepper or like chipotle. It's like $7 for like a little thing like that. For free. Not even freeze dried, just dried.
I honestly think it'll help a ton of the cannabis industry. So a lot of people are now making concentrates out of live materials, so they cut down and right away turn it into concentrate. But a lot of the time, the timing isn't right on that, and you can't get it perfect. Right. So if you could freeze dry it, you're now preserving it. You can wait. You can now stagger it out if you have to. You know what I mean? You have it preserved, and I feel like it's gotta pull like every little impurity out of it with the water. I feel like.
I think you're right with that, and like when you cure bud, I mean, there's got to be some sort of biological reaction that happens with either bacteria or fungi that are floating in the air. Sure, you do dry it, but I mean, drying takes like a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
So there's got to be some sort of
10 to 14 days.
So like 2 weeks is plenty of time for like food to go bad.
Yeah, especially when it's hanging in a room.
Exactly.
No matter how clean your room is,
Like there was, I just found out about something that happened in Paris many, many years ago. And what happened was there was a bunch of bodies that were buried. And then there was runoff from that mound of bodies. And there was so much bacteria in the air. It was a huge issue that if you left milk out for an hour, it would be bad in less than a day. So there's a lot of bacteria naturally in the air. So if you let the bacteria and fungi sit on bud for 2 weeks, I mean, sure, it's not, is it going to be really noticeable? Maybe. I don't know. I've never done any tests. But if you're taking it, cutting it down, cleaning it, and then instantly freeze drying it, that gives the bacteria like 10 minutes to start degrading the compounds in it. So I don't know if there's any tests that have been done.
I wonder if you could bud wash and then freeze dry. So like any bacteria you could kill with a hydrogen peroxide dip and then freeze dry it, and you're getting all any kind of water out of there, and
so clean.
We have to experiment with this.
It's just a matter of finding.
You're welcome if you're listening and you have
you have a freeze dryer. Do it up.
If you got an extra like $6,000 hanging around,
let us know what your experiments tell.
Yeah.
Find out, and we'll share that back and forth.
Yeah, there's a jab.
But there's just a way of like I said before, you can jab, but that's not going to prepare you for the right hook. You got to practice those right hooks.
Mm-hmm.
You got to learn how to monetize and how to make money. So I think that's super important too, and it's something that I've been neglecting a little while. So I'm going to try that space and see how it goes. I mean, entrepreneurship is a giant journey. Yes, process of learning.
You have to, like Gary says, Gary Vaynerchuk. If you guys don't know who Gary V is, please check him out. He's one of definitely, like, I would say he's kind of like a mentor to us.
Totally, 100%.
Okay,
100%.
I wasn't sure if that's the right word.
Mentor, yeah. It's just one that we can't really talk to because
not yet. We're not too many degrees of separation away from him, and he's always in New York. But
mentorship is so important.
Very important.
And like the really cool thing about being in this time is that you don't need to have a physical mentor, especially with people like Gary Vaynerchuk or Grant Cardone. Like they've got all of their stuff on the internet, so you can just learn from them and watch what they do, see what they do, and monkey see.
Yep.
and completely copy what they're doing. Like,
or add on to what you're already doing.
Exactly, yeah. There's a lot of bullshit circulating that, like, no, you're just copying exactly what, like, content creators. You're just copying that person. That's totally this person's type of video style. Like, yeah, that's how you learn.
Yeah.
What did you say, like, back in the day when you learned how to make a sword with a hammer and some fire? You do it by exactly the same way that the guy is teaching you, and then eventually you're like, I don't really like it the way, or this piece, but that dude in Sir Lancelot's area, he's got a technique down. I'm going to start integrating that, and then eventually you've got your own type of style, and in the entrepreneurship can be your own style.
Yeah, it really is. Like I try to compare everything in life to like growing bud, because that's like my whole life. Yeah. So it's kind of the same process. Like you have to. Well, you don't have to. I mean, you could go on YouTube and like look up videos on how to learn, but you're still learning it how somebody else did it, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And as a grower, unless you start like, it's cool to learn from somebody, but unless you take what they taught you, go to another person, learn from them, take what they taught you, go to another person, learn from them, take what they taught you. Like, you have to keep finding people to learn from. Like, you can't like keep the same mentors forever, like, or just, you know what I mean, like just the same mentors. I feel like you have to circulate through it to like
100 cement. Yeah. So another thing, like I've been trying to work on is video. I'm trying to get good at making video, because I just think it's really cool. And that's a skill that,
i.e.
Yeah.
What is it? What is an example of what you're working on for like video?
Like, I'd like to do it's a thing called B-roll, and a B-roll is like a short clip that kind of transitions one subject to another in film. So it might be like a slow-mo of coffee pouring, or it might, and that'll quickly transition into like a really close-up view of a coffee machine.
Yeah.
And my head is kind of taking me to the point where, okay, if I get good at B-rolls, that would be a perfect transition into a commercial. Because if you ever seen a B-roll, I'll show you some later.
No, I'm very familiar.
They look good. Like, you know, with like a really nice camera. If you
when we shoot music videos, same thing. You shoot B-roll in the background where you're at, so you have like filler of like transitional filler, you know. And
like that looks really good, especially for a commercial, for someone who's. And I'm thinking it's.
Don't even let them know yet. We won't let them even.
No, that's brewing.
That's brewing. There's some stuff. There's a lot of stuff brewing right now.
It's always in the entrepreneurial mind. You're always kind of go, trying to pick up on the next opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually. I got so much stuff brewing. There's a couple things I can't even really talk to anybody about because they're just like top secret. It's crazy. I'm at that point in my life. I have to keep like top secret information.
Yeah, and why is it, so you don't want to let it out? Is it because you're not 100% sure that it's going to happen?
No, it's more so contractual stuff. You sign stuff saying that you can't talk about it.
Okay.
Until it happens.
Oh, that's exciting stuff.
It's
that's cliffhanger material.
Yeah, I want to say something about it, but I can't. I don't know.
You don't want to get in trouble.
I don't know too much of what I can get in trouble for, but
now I'm thinking, is this? Do I know anything about this? Is this completely new?
I've mentioned something about it, but it's gotten to the point now where I really can't even talk about it anymore because it's real now. It happened, so now it's just me doing my part, learning what I need to learn, and shit's gonna happen.
Good.
So I just gotta. I mean, I can at least tell them about that. I have to learn how to make concentrate, like how to make dabs.
Yeah.
Common term for them.
It's like a recipe.
Yeah, I mean, there's many different ways you can make it. At least 10 different ways you can make it. I've made it before. I made rosin. That's really easy. You can make it with a hair straightener at home and some parchment paper. Don't recommend it. It comes out shitty that way because you can't really temperature control. Oh, excuse me. But I did make real rosin with my friend. He has like 6-ton press or something like that, and it has a certain amount of heat, and then you press it. And
it's all temperature controlled.
Yeah,
perfect.
It came out really, really, really nice. And then some people don't like rosin. Rosin also doesn't work in the cartridges that I make.
Why is that? Is it too thick?
It's too thick. It's too. It's more because of you're literally just squishing bud with heat.
Right.
It's a lot more plant materially.
I see.
Word, so
is it hash? What is hash?
I've
heard that on Trailer Park Boys.
I don't really know what hash is. I know. Well, so when you trim, right? When you trim bud on your scissors, you'll have a bunch of black and dark shit built up on your scissors. That's scissor hash. Okay. So that's literally just trichomes just packed in there because you're just trimming. So it's literally like the keef, kind of.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that hash is like packed and heated keef, like certain ways, like they play with it. People have been asking me to experiment with making that too, but it's not in my scope right now. But I want to learn how to make distillate. That's like the cleanest form. And I want to learn how to make bubble hash. So once I can learn how to do that, I'm maybe going to get contracted to somebody to make big moves.
Huge.
6-figure moves,
wow.
So
yeah, life-changing stuff.
Yeah. It's nerve-wracking, and I have a baby coming in 3 months. Now I'm like, shit, okay. The people that I'm learning from, I need to let them know this information and be like, I need to fucking learn now. This needs to happen now.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to keep stuff in. I like to talk about stuff.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really keep secrets like that either. That's super pumped.
Yeah. And then, oh man, do I talk about the stage dive?
Totally, 100% talk. What happened with the stage? Take us back to the beginning, back when you were on stage, So there's a video.
It has to start before then, even.
Yeah, go.
Okay,
it's far back. We're gonna deep dive.
If you have not seen this video,
dive.
You're gonna see it soon. Don't go looking it up because we're already doing copyright claims and getting it offline, basically. So I in 2014 was doing music heavy with someone, and I was opening for Cassidy, the rapper. If you know who that is, if you don't, you probably don't listen to hip hop. Do you know who that is?
No.
Well,
I don't listen to hip hop.
Well, I'll show you Cassidy after.
Yeah, let me know.
I got my drink and my two-step, I'm trying to think.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
Oh, did my camera just die? Uh-oh.
It's okay. You good?
No, it didn't even die. That's weird.
Oh, did the screen just shut off? Did it stop filming?
Yeah, just decided to stop filming. All right. Well,
part 2.
Part duel. So yeah, I was
drinking my two-step.
In 2014, I was opening for Cassidy. Before that, the person I was performing with and I were opening for Cassidy. Casher, my lifelong friend and music partner, was like, "You should perform in your boxers." And I was like, "Nah." And then he put up a status that was like 50 likes, and Adam has to perform in his boxers. And I'm like, well, that's like no ballsing me. That's not fair. And he knew what he was doing, and he got 50 likes very easily. Very, very easily. It's not fair. And so, as a man of my word, when we opened for Cassidy, I performed in my boxers.
Yeah.
And literally every dude was like, "Nah, I'm not gay, bro," and backed up. Cassidy was performing right after us.
Right.
All the girls moved up. In my mind, I recognized this while I'm performing. I almost messed up the song because of that happening, in front of me. I'm like, oh man, I planned on stage diving this next song. So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I can still stage dive. There's only 3 rows of girls that I have to jump over. I got this. So I do a couple dabs after that song while the DJ's talking and everything, and I'm putting my pants back on, and putting my shoes back on so I could perform. And we do this next song, and the dude I'm performing with, he kills his verse. We kill the chorus. I killed my whole verse, and I just was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm jumping over these girls. So that's when the video cuts on. And it's just me, like, performing the end of my verse, and you could see me go up to the front of the stage and then be like, oh, shit, I gotta back up if I'm gonna clear these girls. Yeah. So I hop as if I'm, like planning to perform, and I go all the way in the back. And then, of course, my last line before I jump off stage is, I got nothing to lose. Because I got nothing to lose! I drop the mic and just fucking hop, and every girl just... Like it's like parting the Red Sea. Like I was just like, boom. Luckily,
did you get hurt?
I think the adrenaline of it and dabs really made it so I didn't get hurt. But also, this kid Jarek, I don't know how he did it, but he like reached over everybody and like reached his hand and grabbed the back of my head right before I was about to hit the ground. Like literally 6 inches, and like my head hit his hand and hit the ground. Yeah. And like that's probably what saved me from getting seriously hurt that night. Yeah.
Fucks people up.
Like people have died from stage diving. It's a thing. Like you hit your neck and head the wrong way, you get paralyzed or die. Like it's just especially from like it was a high stage. It was probably like a 4-foot stage, and I jumped up and over. So I was probably like a good 10 feet in the air, coming right down on my back, just like, these people are going to catch me.
It's like a trust fall.
I didn't really even see everybody move. I was like, they're going to understand what we're doing. We let them know 3 times in the song that we're going to stage dive. Yeah. They got it. They didn't get it. It didn't happen.
It's so funny to watch. Like, it's really funny.
So somebody told me to submit it into Fail Army.
Uh-huh. When did this happen?
Recently, because I was like, hey, I put this on my Facebook and it got 30,000 plays on it. It has 31,000 now. I got like 1,000 plays this week, just chilling. I'm not really promoting it.
Yeah. But this happened like a long time ago.
4.5 years ago, March 24th, 2014.
And now you just got like thousands of views like within the past couple of months. Is this kind of like skyrocketed, or has it been like a steady?
Everybody locally has known about it, and then it's kind of one of those things. Casher's like, you've never seen him stage dive? Puts it on his phone, and everybody's like, thanks, dick. Like, like it has like 8,000 plays on YouTube, and cool. And my friend Paul made a caption that said SoundCloud rappers in their first performance. Yeah. And that just was like, oh, you're a dick for that, but that's funny, so I gotta put it out. And
so you submitted it to Fail Army?
Yep, I submitted it to Fail Army. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a battery because I just saw that blink red. So I submitted it to Fail Army, and Fail Army got back to me and accepted my submission. And then a media company reached out to represent my video for a certain split of the money, and they'll be able to promote it for me and get it in front of the right people. And if Ridiculousness or something like that called and wanted to use the video and they called me, I could just be like, oh, talk to my agent. Yeah. So it's not really any extra time off my hands or anything.
Right. It's just exposure.
Yeah. Massive exposure, and that's all I really cared about. I didn't think there was any money to be made, so when they hit me up like, hey, you can make money, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna make money off diving off stage. Who can make fun of me now? Even if I made $100 off that video, who the hell could make fun of me for diving off stage now? Like,
yeah, laugh it up.
Most of these rappers don't even make money when they perform at local shows. Let's talk about it. They really don't. It's not fair. You know how many tickets I sold and never got paid and that shit? No, I would have to sneak. Like, this is probably the first time I've ever publicly talked about it, but Rich, I love you, and I made you a lot of money so I could talk about this. But I worked with a company called Keynote Company, and that Cassidy show, we sold a bunch of tickets, like 60, 70 tickets. Cassidy was an expensive act, and we took like 10 tickets and just sold them to make money on our own, because we didn't make money really off of selling like the 70 or 80 that we sold. It ended up being like 80 or 90 with the ones that we had on the side. But that's the only way we made money. Me and the dude talked like, hey, we got to make money. This is how we do it, like, whatever, man. It is what it is. We sold thousands of tickets. I would easily, I could say that. Well, maybe at least like 1,000. At least 1,000 within like 4 months. Yeah. It was a short span, a lot of shows. Like, we were doing 4 shows in 3 days type of shit.
When did you stop performing?
Heavily in 2014. A lot of stuff went on in my personal life. That was right before my son was born. His mother and I weren't really on good terms. I was across the country.
Yeah.
So it was a rough time in my life, and people, because of like the timing of everything, people kind of took it as like, oh, he ran away because of the stage dive video, and people making fun of him for it. He ran away for that because of the timing of it. Because it was literally 2 weeks later, I was gone.
Wow. Yeah.
So it looked like the timing was there, but I had it was already planned. I went and lived with Kasher, actually, and he was at the show. He's the one who filmed me stage dive fail. So, I'm kind of hoping that it gains some traction. My goal is for it to do 100,000 plays. You told me I'm insane for thinking that low. Like, if Fail Army has hundreds of millions of followers.
So you could have way more.
And then the media company also has like 100 million followers. So like between the two of them, it's like 250 million followers. Like, it's pretty insane. But I'm just trying to be a little bit humble on it. But I have a plan to really capitalize on the attention. I don't think I'm going to talk about that yet until I talk to Kasher about the plan and really fully plan it out. But
yeah,
I have a couple plans to really capitalize on this. One of them being that I have studio time on Saturday, and I haven't really been to the studio seriously in a couple of years, kind of,
Yeah, getting back into it, this is perfect timing.
I mean, I have to. How can I not? People are going to be looking for my music. I have albums out on all the digital platforms and everything, already marinating. I want Kasher to send me his
What are the albums called, if they want to check it out?
If you look up Vortex, VORTEKS, you can find it anywhere. My albums are Wanderlost, and I have a group album with Kasher called You're Welcome To, which is probably one of the best albums you'll ever hear in your life. Just saying. You're Welcome 3 will be even better. So that's a thing too. So Kasher got his computer back, and hopefully he'll be making some music and some beats, because I have some ideas for him to make some money too, because I really just want to get him rolling on making some royalties and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
starting to bring some money in. It's important.
Yeah, we need to make that residual income as artists. And if you're an artist watching this, a musician, hit me up. I'll teach you a little. I helped. There's an artist named, I think it's pronounced Hoshi. If I mispronounced that, please let me know. She's a super sweetheart. Her music is so different. Like, she'll go from like rap to EDM to singing to like it's just all over the place. But it's really good, and she sings really well. She didn't really have all her music on the digital platforms like Apple Music and Spotify and everything. And I was talking to her, and I asked why, and she said that she had somebody that did that for her. And I said, why? You can go on distrokid.com and pay $35 a year and put your music out infinitely. As long as you own that beat and you wrote the lyrics and you own your rights, you could put your music out. It's really simple. Like, there's artists out there that just don't know that. Why? Like, how do you, like, these people have mentors that aren't showing them this. Like, how does your mentor not know this? Like, I've known how to submit my own music for at least 5 years, actually like 5 to 7 years, somewhere in that range of knowing how to submit my own music.
Yeah, this is perfect. Tell the world.
Right.
Let people know. And
DistroKid is my favorite site. I mean, I've used TuneCore. That's another site. Pretty good. I think CD Baby, I've used them before. I've used a bunch of sites, but DistroKid is where it's at, definitely. Like, I think that artists should sign up for that. And I'm actually thinking about, there's like different tiers of what you can sign up for on DistroKid. Like, you can sign up for like 1 artist, 2 artists, 4 artists, label. I'm thinking about paying for the label account next year and grabbing some artists under my wing and really trying to like push them out there with like the Hunter Zone media and everything. So that's one of the plans I want to use to help other people with my stage dive video. You know, I want to take talented artists that I know, like Hoshi and the hell's his name? His real name's Eric. His music's super amazing, and Casher. Like, I want all these people to be able to just grow because of my fail.
Yeah, totally.
Let's all take big W's because of my big ass L.
But was it really an L?
If I even make
a win from it, no.
If I, no. Man,
it's good. That's a win, dude. Yeah. It's not an
just
L
the fact that Fail Army wanted to feature it is a W. You know how
sure is.
That's huge exposure, and I didn't even. I really don't even care about the money made off it, but whatever money gets made.
Maybe in the time it sucked when people were laughing at you, and you're just kind of like, oh, this sucks, and you're dealing with all this issue. Maybe that was like a big L.
Yeah.
But now that you're more wise, you're realizing, that was a big win.
Huge win.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, a ton of people already know me. That I did it, you know, like,
right.
Oh, have you ever seen a stage dive video? Like, I'd be at parties and hear that, and I'm like, ha ha ha. Yeah. Like, I in some of my newer material, I even wrote, like, a line about that. Like, I can't remember how it goes right now off the top of my head because we haven't been thinking about, like, music stuff like that, but.
Right.
Yeah, I like brought that up in one of my songs. Like, yeah, it's funny, but haha, like it's time to move on. And apparently, I'm not putting that out yet because it's not time to move on from that.
Just starting.
Oh man, I'm gonna stay out of the comments of that fucking video. If I ever want to be humbled, I'll just go to the comments of the video when it gets put out. Because oh my god,
oh the trash.
People are gonna rip my head off and shit down my neck. People are gonna make me feel like dirt. Maybe I will read it because that is really humbling actually.
But like what you can already know what they're gonna say. It's gonna be stupid. Like, whoa, what an idiot! Whatever. It's gonna be like somewhere along the lines of that.
You know what's gonna be funny?
How bad can it really get?
If it does go viral and get like 1 million views,
yeah.
The people locally that do not like me are probably gonna comment on that and probably try to like clout chase a little bit. Prediction.
Yeah. I believe it. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you guys don't even know this loser. He's blah, 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 blah. Like, just talking like they know me and stuff. It's gonna be funny, man. Like, the people are gonna come out of the woodwork because...
They get jealous. Like, oh, now this person's in the limelight. Those people are losers, dude.
And that's how it was, really. Like, when, at that time of that stage dive, we were starting to be, like, more known locally. And it brought a lot of hate, you know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is what it is. You know, I don't even have hate for, like, any of the artists out there, even the ones that have, like, completely bashed me and threatened my life and all that bullshit.
That's pretty real, dude.
Yeah, you know.
God, it would really threaten my life.
I still go to local shows.
Good. It's good. You gotta stay in the game. That's cool. I'm excited because you know, sometimes you just get that feeling. Like, that's your game. When I met you, like, in Colorado, not met you in Colorado, but when I saw you in Colorado.
That's like when we really got to know each other.
Yeah. You were, like, big in the whole rap scene. I'm like, wow, this dude's gonna be somebody. And I always just knew that it was gonna be rap, because how many people do you know that actually, well, you know, you're an exception. you know
thousands.
Quite a few people that go out and do that. But, like, it takes a different level of person to be able to go on stage and to perform, to create, to perform.
And mentor,
all of these things.
I've been mentoring since I was 15. Like, for some reason, I just was like, oh, you want to rap? Alright, let me show you.
Yeah.
And then every single time I would mentor somebody, they'd become bigger asshole than I was. And then we'd butt heads and split ways. That's always the way it was with mentorship, because back then, I was really, 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 really cocky. Now it's
so
like...
you taught them how to be cocky,
yeah,
and they fought back.
But they were also really talented, and I brought that out of them, because I feel like sometimes the confidence was lacking, and the only way to bring them confidence is to be a little cocky, maybe.
Okay.
And that was kind of like my defense mechanism when I had nothing to be confident about. Now I'm extremely confident. Like, now like, my brother, Gary, called me and was talking about the Sensi Night interviews. He was like, I wish I could do that. Do what?
Yeah.
He's like, I wish I could just go out with a camera and a microphone and talk to random people. like, I would be having a fucking heart attack. He's like, I would be having a nervous breakdown, dude. I don't know how you do that.
It's all the years of practice being on stage.
That's what it felt like when I was...
It's the same thing.
It's just one-on-one, but, like, having a microphone, knowing it's recorded, knowing it's going to get put out. I'm, like, trying to think of, like, okay, like, I need to ask quality, value questions, you know, like, I want people to gain a ton of value from this.
Yeah. As soon as people realize that it's a camera, like, obviously there's people behind the camera, but, like, in the moment right now, it's just cameras. It's almost like it's the same thing if, like, you're on a stage. Instead of cameras, there's people.
There could be a million people watching our live right now.
There could be, and we just haven't figured out. There could be thousands and thousands of comments.
There's probably 2.5.
Below. 2,500. Below. 2,500.
Oh, it's actually funny. We could check it.
But yeah, like, that's the thing. How long? What time is it?
It is 7:51.
It's perfect.
Or 41 minutes. I feel like it was just me talking about what's new in my life, though. I feel like you have a lot of ideas that we've talked about. And
that's
like
okay.
Things you're working on.
I like asking.
But I want to know what you're working on too, man.
I've been working on a new idea where I help. Look, right now, my mother's gym isn't doing as well as we'd hoped it would be doing.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a lot of Gary Vee, and like the big thing that he did was he went all in on how do I make my family's wine business better.
Yep.
He went all in, and that's what he did. And I'm thinking, like, okay, I did it at some point. I helped a lot with training.
Yep.
But now that the farm is pretty much, everything's almost dead at this point. There's a few miscellaneous crops that are still growing up, but
Kale.
like I don't have to do anything really. So all of that time is going to have to be put into something. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to help build up Striking Beauties again. Mm-hmm. So how can I do that? We need a commercial. We need to really put like good quality content on social media.
Let's work on it this week.
And I'm thinking, you know what? We're probably not the only ones dealing with content creation and distribution issue. So I'm thinking, okay, there's a space for that.
Absolutely.
And it was kind of like I was on a run. I did 4.5 miles the other day, and
no big deal.
like I've got like people that I'm training just did a half marathon. So like 4.5 miles, that's nothing.
How long is a half marathon?
13.2 or 13.1, something along that.
I don't even like driving that far.
And I was listening, on my run, I was listening to a podcast by Gary Vee, and one of the questions that somebody had asked him, it was a woman, and she said, if you were to start a media agency with 3 people, what would those 3 roles be? And he said, videographer, social media expert, social media manager,
content creator,
and a writer. Like the whole thing together as a content creator. True. But the social is just someone who manages, who understands social media really well, because you can have a brilliant cinematologist or whatever, cinematographer.
Cinematologist. You're such a scientist, bro. I gotta put the ologist at the end.
So I guess that would be someone who studies cinema, right?
Yeah.
Someone who creates cinema but doesn't have any knowledge on social media isn't going to do shit.
Yep.
But if you put all of those things together, now you have a machine, right? So that's what I've kind of like. This is the early stages of me thinking what I can do, and the first step is definitely to help my mother's business out and try to get that to be profitable.
I think that's a great idea.
It's just a matter of, if you're local and you're video making,
I think we should just do it this week.
We should get it going, start November.
Not like we, yeah.
Start tomorrow.
Yeah, realistically, we can.
We'll talk more when the cameras are off and talk strategy and whatnot, but entrepreneurial, that's what I've been in my head thinking about, because the farm, I'm not really doing much on the farm. Everything's done. So now that just gives my mind some time to
So this is what I personally think you should do with the farm. Build it up more on social media while it's dead.
Yeah.
You have a ton of pictures and content from it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So just build it up over time. And what you could do to make that less strenuous, because it is something that's, dead right now and dormant, you can use an app. I'll show you the app when we get off this, where you could schedule something. So on every Sunday, you schedule the full 7 days out. Boom. You know what you're posting for the whole week.
I kind of use Google Calendar. That works.
No, but this, you don't even have to post it. It automatically does it. You post it in the thing, you do all your hashtags, everything, and then it schedules it for you, and boom.
So what I was thinking is with this new idea, going out to restaurants, because restaurants are always trying to get people in the door.
Yeah.
And then we'll say, okay, we're going to help you market, and then by the time spring rolls around, hey guys, I already know you. What you didn't know is I also have a farm.
Yep.
Or do you guys need any lettuce or any kale or anything? And now that we have a relationship, and we've helped each other out, maybe they'd be more likely yes, I need a lettuce guy. I don't have a lettuce guy yet. So it kind of I've thought of that. But
let us help you.
Let us.
Yes.
That's our slogan.
Let us help you. That should be, man. That would be my slogan if I had a lettuce company. It's not a lettuce company, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Like a semitologist.
A lettuceologist. So I think...
Let us all adjust.
All
right, I think that's that's pretty much where I stand in I've also been doing teaching a group of people to become Spartans.
Oh yeah.
So I train them. Yeah, that's entrepreneurial.
Very.
And that's been going well. Yeah, so we'll get the battery in. It's not bad. I mean, the camera lasted, that one battery lasted an hour.
Yeah, a long time. And that's back on. Man, you gotta love technical difficulties. We're wrapping up anyways, but yeah, I think we need to...
Way to just say formal goodbyes to the camera now that it's up and running. Part 3, by the way.
We need to, I think, be a little more consistent with this. There are people watching. Thank you to people watching. I noticed that there was 30 listeners on the last episode. And sorry that we haven't been a little more consistent. Both Andy and I have both been ridiculously busy.
Yeah.
I promise you, we're not just out here slacking. We work extra hard.
At the very least, we can meet once a week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been getting into meditation a little bit with Andy as well, so maybe we can incorporate that in. I feel like after meditation, I'm
that's
my mind
avenue.
is moving, I'm just
calming.
Yeah, we could just set up the mic right when we're done meditating and do a podcast.
Right when things are clear, because meditation is kind of like being on a pond, and normally your thoughts are scattered all over the place, and it's like rough seas, so there's a bunch of waves, but meditation takes those seas, which is your mind, and it calms it down. Now it's so much easier to traverse that lake now that it's settled.
Yeah, I feel like
shining.
With how stressful the month's been, my mind has just been everywhere, not focused, and meditation's kind of bringing it back, okay, a lot happened this month. We might be behind on a couple bills, but a lot happened.
Roller coaster.
Yeah.
The long game.
Macro.
You know what I heard, which is entrepreneurial, and I would not recommend doing this at all. It did cross my mind, but I don't think I'm going to go for it. But I heard somebody say that if you have student loans, the best thing to do is to not pay them and save your money instead. Or not save your money, but store your money. Because sure, it'll crush your credit, but who's really in the game to use their credit? I don't ever want to buy a house. I
do.
That's not in my game.
I need house and land.
It's not in my game plan. And it made sense to me. I don't need credit. I've got good credit, but why? I don't need it. I'm not going to buy a house. I'm not going to buy anything like that. If you're watching and I borrowed money from you, Navient, if you're watching, I'm still going to pay it. Don't worry. But it was an interesting idea, and I was kind of flabbergasted by the fact of listening to someone say, don't pay it. You don't need credit anyway. And this is a big dude, so...
Huh.
Interesting theory.
Student loans, we've talked about this so much, how much of a scam that is.
That sucks. It's the worst. Yeah, I don't even want to talk. It makes me upset.
It makes my belly hurt.
You know what's been big on the internet now is the whole potential for a recession. Like people comparing how we're living our life now, like how people lived their life in the roaring 20s, where money was good and in a certain selection of people were booming.
That's when millionaires started.
Yeah, the Great Gatsby. Like people were blowing money, like they had money. And then all of a sudden, the 30s, 40s came around, and we now know it as the Great Depression. So.
Yeah, and then only a select few had all the money, and everybody else was poor.
Yeah, so like what I've been researching now is how do you make money when times are really tough? Because a lot of people are gonna eat shit like hard, and like there's been times in like Zimbabwe where the value of their dollar went so low that they had to start making denominations of $1 trillion bill, and that was in circulation. People were burning the money for fire because it was useless. It's intense shit. Like that, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I don't know shit about economics. Well, I'm just kind of regurgitating. But like, there's it's happened before. There's definitely a possibility of it happening again. And how do you prepare for something like that? You need to somehow make money.
You need to build a business that's recession-proof.
Yeah. And like, what is that? Like,
you have to bring value to people.
Media. It's like when money's tight, you still need to market. Like you still need to make money, but you're going to be wise with your marketing money. Yeah. So that's. You know what? If there was one thing, I know it's tough being on the spot. If there was one thing that you could leave everyone watching now to save money, what would you tell them? One way to say it.
Stop going out every fucking weekend.
Fuck yeah, dude. Huge waste.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You gotta sacrifice fun for work. The only time I get off is my 4 days a week with Owen, basically. This month's been a little rough for me. I've taken a couple more mental days because
you need it. Yeah.
I don't want to like completely get off track. I'd rather like lose track for a day than get back on, you know.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's just those 4 days, and usually at some point in those 4 days I'm still working.
Yeah.
So
I haven't even gone to a Halloween party. Don't plan on it. And I actually someone suggested that I watch a Netflix show. I'm like, all right, I'm just chilling here. Let me just chill. Within 5 minutes of the Netflix thing being on, I was on Instagram doing my 180. I'm like, this is useless. I turned it off. I'm like, I can't do Netflix. I just can't do it.
Can't not work, huh?
Like I gotta work. If I were to give somebody a piece of advice that has saved me a ton of money and really live poor but like okay, is to stop eating meat. Like every once in a while.
I didn't want to be the guy.
Meat is expensive, and chickpeas you get protein, and make meat like okay, it's the last Friday of the month. I've been good all week. I'm gonna get some steak tips, so I'm gonna really enjoy this piece of meat. But like, or you can if you want to be vegan, you can. But being vegan is expensive.
I disagree.
It can be expensive with like
the money that we would have spent on meat, we spend on veggies instead, and sometimes don't even spend close to that what we used to spend on meat.
Yeah, like what you can do is like milk is really really good for like calories. Like it's really cheap calories. Like whole milk is like one of the best things that you can get. As far as like it's not, he's a vegan, so he's going to strongly disagree.
I'm not a vegan, but I've never liked milk ever. Yeah. Even when I ate meat, like I hated milk. Did you know actually that 1 cup of pumpkin seeds has as much protein as a hamburger?
I didn't, but that's impressive. And it's sustainable too. That's really good.
The hamburger will give you 28 grams of cholesterol, while the pumpkin seeds fight against cholesterol, and also give you amino acids.
Yeah.
What are the acids like that are fish oil and stuff? Omegas and yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude.
And potassium.
Like potassium's good. And like chickpeas, really good value. Beans in general, really good value. Milk, really good value calorie-wise. Tortilla chips, incredible value for the calories. Peanut butter, If you eat all of those foods and you buy in big bulks of rice, and like these aren't the best foods for you.
Yeah,
obviously.
we live spoiled, people. Let us let you know that people live spoiled. People can live a lot more minimalistic than they do, but they don't, and then they complain about being fucking broke. Like, we live broke because we're kind of broke. We're building up right now. We're broke, you know? Like, so we live broke. We're not living above our means, and you're not eating filet mignon every night, you know? Like, people just need to learn that you need to have some self-accountability, figure out where you're spending money that is wasted money. Coffee. I mean, coffee's good, but you could buy a pound of coffee, and I'm a hypocrite for this because I buy coffee every day. But my girlfriend works there, so I want to go visit her.
Yeah, and see, that's one way to save money. You can save like $60 a week.
A pound of coffee at Mary Lou's is like $10 or something like that. Yeah, that should last you the whole month at least.
And even if you want to save even more money, you could buy cheap shit coffee, a pound for even less than that.
Oh yeah, you can go to the grocery store and get it for $5-6.
And then let's saving money again. You got to make sacrifices on quality. Yeah. But it's
stop eating out at restaurants.
Oh my God, never eat out. I mean, I don't. Pretty much, I eat shit, and I'm relatively healthy.
You're very healthy, dude. So relatively. I just ran 4.5 miles, and then so after that, I probably fucking climbed a mountain.
So like the thing is, you don't have to eat really, really great in order to be healthy. You can
moderately good.
Yeah. Refried beans, dude.
Yeah, like I still eat ice cream and brownies and shit like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I have chickens, so like my eggs, I don't even count that. Like when vegans eat our eggs.
They do.
Some do.
Because
like if we make brownies or something. Yeah, they eat better and are treated better than I am, you know? Yeah. So they're, that's why one of the reasons I can't be vegan. The other one's cheese, but...
Yeah, I mean, veganism can be very expensive with, like, vegan cheeses. I mean, whew.
Yeah, but again, if you just live minimalistic.
Or, like, coconut milk and almond milk. That stuff is more expensive than whole milk.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? So, like, it's definitely, like, if you have some money, some people are like, okay, well, just like how some people say, sleep 6 hours a night. No, I can't do that. I gotta sleep 7. And you're kind of like, okay, well, that I'm not bending on that. There's certain people that might say, okay, well, I have X amount of money. I'd like to save money, but I'm not sacrificing the food that I put into my body. And you know what? If that is you, respect.
But know that you can live below your means a little bit and save a bunch of money.
If you had to, right?
If you want, if you're like, so like say you're at a job, you hate your job, you're trying to build a business, you're trying to figure out how you're going to gain money to build this business. Live below your means. Save $300 a month by living below your means and put it towards your business.
Right.
Literally that easy. Period. Like, people aren't willing to make sacrifices and they want to talk a lot. But you gotta fucking do it.
Sacrifice is huge. I mean, that's the whole entrepreneurial game.
How many friendships have you sacrificed to do what you're doing? And, like, even if you're not friends, when was the last time you've seen them? Like, it's just, and a lot of people don't understand. Where you been, bro? Like, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Working, busy.
Yeah, like I got friends.
Where are you working? It's hard to explain, man.
For my self-employed.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, what are you doing? That's self-employed. I want to do what you do. And I'm like, well, you can't. Sorry. You can do it, but just not the way I'm doing it. The way I'm doing it is the way that's working for me.
Yeah, everybody's going to find
you can learn
your
from
own
me.
thing.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, like maybe you're a Britney Spears impersonator.
Do that shit.
If that's you, even though...
Dude, get that red spandex suit. And rock it. Rock it. Whatever your thing is.
People are weird. But yeah, whatever your thing is, Gary Vee says that all the time. Whatever your thing is, just fucking do it. See if you can monetize it. If you can monetize it, just do it. If somebody else has monetized it, you can probably monetize it if you're good at it.
And if someone hasn't monetized it before, you might be a pioneer.
Yeah, so take risks.
Alright, with that said, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of AA for Entrepreneurs. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.